Good evening, I'm Colm, and you're welcome to the Business Enterprise Show, Ireland's only live web-based business TV programme with over 2 million views across the globe. And as always, we're coming to you live from our state-of-the-art studios in the Cavan Crystal Hotel on the Dublin Road here in Cavan. Now, as you can see over my shoulder, over that shoulder, we have a sports top hanging. So one would safely assume that obviously a sports company that we're talking to tonight. But all about sports and GAA views need have no fear. I'm not stepping on their toes because tonight I'm dealing with an entrepreneur who has a particular niche market. And the niche market she has picked is clothes for what she calls furkidz, and she calls her company furkidz.ie. Michelle Ryan, you're very welcome.
Thank you for having me, Colm.
You're more than welcome. Now, but before we start finding out about furkidz, tell us a little bit about Michelle Ryan.
Well, I'm Dublin-based. I ran my own corporate and charity events management company for years. Subsequently went to work in Bank of Ireland in the retail strategy and marketing department, and then went to work in Quinn Insurance, which subsequently changed hands and is now called Liberty Insurance.
A well-known company here in Cavan.
Yes.
And you had an entrepreneurial streak, and you said, I want to set up business for myself. I want to do my own thing. I want to be mistress, or in your case, mistress. Don't know if I can say that on air, but too late I've said it. You want to be mistress of your own destiny. So you said, right, let me pick a product. And you picked clothing for small little animals. How did that come about?
For children.
For children, as you call them.
Well, I have two fur daughters myself, Tia and Lulu. And
what are they?
Tia is a Shih Tzu and Lulu is a Maltese, and she was rescued with 160 other dogs by the ISPCA. They were living in a shed at the time in horrific conditions. And they rescued them all and rehomed them. So Lulu went to live in Dogs Trust, have a little holiday in Dogs Trust before she came to live with us. When she came to live with us initially, she was extremely nervous, very afraid of people. She didn't know what grass was or a leash was. She couldn't do normal things that dogs could do. Fortunately, we had Tia was living with us also at the time.
She kind of took her under her wing,
or
took her under her paw.
She helped her progress a lot, and like in the kind of 24 months that we've had Lulu, she's just 100% changed, and she's such a sweet little pet that it just breaks your heart to think that anything like that could have ever happened to her. But thankfully now she's my fur daughter, and she won't be going anywhere. She'll be living with me for the rest of her life. And she's a
Maltese. It's unusual for Maltese, like a thoroughbred like that, to be picked up as a rescue dog. And let's be honest, most rescue dogs are, as a rule, Purell mongrels.
Well, it's changing all the time, particularly with the puppy farms. They breed designer dogs frequently in horrific conditions. Their fur is matted, they're living frequently in their own feces, and like this kind of thing is a growing problem, unfortunately, in Ireland at the moment. Both the puppy farms and dogs that need homes, you know, and it's just not fair on the fur children, you know. And it's
so you had these two fur children, as you call them.
Yes.
But you as I say, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first, your desire to dress Tia and Lulu? That came first, and you had difficulty in getting outfits for them.
Well, there were some outfits out there. They were very much a utility-based range, and the fabrics weren't what I would like to see my daughters wearing. So I had to kind of, you know, import a lot of things and have some things made. And in the end, it was such kind of an ordeal to do this on a frequent basis that I just felt myself that I wanted these items, and I felt that there were other people out there who would be interested in having these items for their fur children as well. So that's why I decided to open a small business with them, because it's much easier to purchase them when they're already in Ireland than having to kind of go to the likes of Australia or America.
That was
going
to be my next question. Where do you source clothing like this?
A lot of it we make ourselves, like the sweatshirts, the crochets.
Might hold it up there to
the little crochet dresses. This is one of our little crochet dresses with the intricate design and then the little flowers on it. We also have knitted dresses with the little ruffle there, kind of a peplum style, and the flowers on that. And we have a range of sweatshirts going from Aran sweatshirts to this kind of argyle style to stripe style, but it's really whatever the customer wants to have. The sweatshirts and the little knit dresses and the crochets are all handmade specifically for the fur son or fur daughter. So it's really the style that you kind of want yourself. So
do people ring you up and say, this is what I'd like done, rather than just going to a catalogue, I want that, I'll have it now, please? People would effectively put an order in for you. This little, do you see him here? Yeah, here's a kind of a good-looking bear, and he has an Aran jumper on him. Yes. Somebody would say, right, I'd like an Aran jumper knitted for
Colm.
Susie or Colm or whoever. Need a lot more wool now for Colm. And do you go ahead and knit him, or do you outsource the actual knitting?
Well, we get the sizes, we get the style, we get the colour, we get the type of yarn that they want to use. And once we have all that kind of combine it together, we give the customer a price. The pieces are paid for prior to them being handmade for obvious reasons. And then once the item is agreed upon and payment is made, then we go ahead and make it, ship it out as soon as we can within, say, 3 to 5 days.
Now, having a knitter in the family, I know a bit about knitting.
Yes.
And you look at a pattern and there are sizes and there's levels and whatnot. But obviously, if you're dealing with a small dog or a small cat, like there's no such thing as, or is there such a thing as a pattern that's laid out for that? Or do you do this from your head, from your own
Well, there are patterns out there, like
knitting
patterns and fabric patterns to make items for children. Often, like, you have to get the kind of patterns from abroad, but we would hand knit them from sight. So we don't use patterns, we knit them from sight. So we look at that and see which colours are in it, the various stripes, how many stripes, the distance between them and that, and it's made then from hand. So we just look at the item and make it from hand. From that, there's no patterns that we would use.
Yeah. And how long would that process take?
It would depend very much on the item. If it's a very simple item, it could take 2 days. The more intricate the work, it would take longer, obviously.
And is this all done over the internet, or do you have a store where people can come in and browse what you have?
We have no store currently. It's all done on the internet. We do a few small fairs at the moment. We're going to do a few larger trade shows later in the year, and at the moment it's all on the internet. So they just email us, we can call them. It's up to the client whether they wish to speak on the phone or whether they want to purchase kind of off the peg items, which is done straight through the website, and we wouldn't have any direct contact per se with the customer. Or like they can email us or we can call them. It's up to the customer, and we have on the website contact page and that as well.
So who's your typical customer?
Oh, we have a wide range of customers, to be honest. Mostly professional people, young people who aren't quite ready to have human children, so they want to have fur children first. Young couples who aren't quite ready to have children. Older people.
Having had 4, I just point out you never get ready for having children. I just should put that out there. I'm sorry if you're still listening.
And also kind of like people like myself who have maybe kind of grown up children and would have liked to have more human children, but just circumstances were not right at the time. And so in order to get additional children, we adopt fur children.
But it's a big step from having small little animals to dressing them.
Not really, no.
Because again,
I don't call them animals either.
We call them fur children.
Yes.
But it's a big, like, you see a lot of people out walking their fur children.
Yes.
But you don't often see, like, in fairness, to see a fur child dressed. Yes. That still is unusual. So it's a big leap, we'll say, from, the reason that you say, right, and again, I suppose that's probably why we bought our first dog all them years ago. You're not quite ready for children, or for whatever reason, you don't want the mess that kids create. It's easier to have something else. to actually then, so your customer base is then a smaller segment of that particular market.
It is a niche market, yes, but a lot of dogs I notice in Ireland, as you would call them, kind of animals, dogs, in the traditional sense, I would see would wear like the coats. Like a lot of them would wear like nylon dog coats that are the very basic kind of almost oval shape that's nearly tied around them.
Yeah.
So
Not like horse blankets.
Exactly. I don't see a huge step from that, from getting that kind of nylon misshapen type thing to actually putting something that's stylish and that has kind of shape. That looks very nice on them as well. Like we have a range of coats that are very pretty, whereas like I know I wouldn't like to wear kind of, I know there's coats out there for humans that are kind of nylon, you tie them around, but I wouldn't like to wear that kind of style for myself. I'd like something a bit kind of more glamorous. So I see it very much for fur children, like they don't all like to wear something nylon that's tied around. Some of them kind of want to have something that's a bit more stylish, that looks pretty on them, you know. And that would be the kind of case for a lot of their kind of parents as well, would like to wear something, put something on them that would look a lot more stylish, glamorous, you know.
Now, how do your customers find out about you? I know you have a web page and what have you, but like as they said, we all have. There was a time when you had a web page that was instant way. Now with so many, how do people find out about
Well,
you?
we have the website. We do a lot of social media marketing. There's over 5,000 members in our group on Facebook at the moment.
Very good.
We have 2,600 on the Facebook page. So if you add those together, you can see that there's clearly a market for them there. And it's a lot of word of mouth as well. People will kind of pass it on and, oh, did you see this? Like, and the doggy community, as you would call it, is quite tightly knit in Ireland. So I still do have a rescue called Irish Hypoallergenic Dog Rescue. And like from that, I would already know kind of a lot of people who would be kind of dealing with fur children and have fur children themselves, you know. And I find that the kind of doggy, as you call it, market is quite tightly knit in Ireland. Yeah.
Now, again, the range of clothes that you do, are they for specific purposes? We had a bridesmaid. I don't know whether we were just chatting about it or whether you have it, and that was for a specific reason. This woman wanted her first child, as you'd call them, as her bridesmaid.
Yes.
Now, the other, are they just kind of clothes that people want to put on them, or would they be for, look, there is a party, there is an event, and this is what I want?
It's kind of a whole range of reasons. It's like, why do you dress a child type of question to ask. I mean, we have the sports, American football, kind of Dallas Cowboys, New York Jets outfits there, which would be kind of a day in the park. They're very much the traditional kind of football jersey fabric type of thing.
Any Cavan jerseys there, no?
No, I don't think you're in the NFL as of yet.
Not yet, no.
We do a range of costumes. These two are handmade. One below with the navy trouser is a pilot suit, and the one above is a captain outfit costume, handmade and extremely high quality fabric. Every piece of that is handmade from scratch. And
is that just something in your range, or has somebody specifically looked for that? You know, the point I'm making is, what would that be used for?
That is for costumes, so like party or fancy dress costume, or Halloween. Like, there's many uses you can use it for. They're quite a niche market in themselves, and people would come to us looking for costumes, and we would say, well, we have this range that's kind of more or less off the peg that we can offer you, or we can make something specifically for your fur child, whichever you prefer. We have then as well, off the peg range is one of our dresses is the little maritime or nautical dress next to it, which is very fashionable at the moment. That's the trend in at the moment. Some of my teenage daughters tell me.
It says XL.
Yes.
It's quite small for XL.
Well, it's a fabric. We like to make sure that a lot of our off the peg range and even kind of couture range is made of natural fabrics, so the fur child's skin can breathe. Because there's nothing worse than being in an outfit where you're kind of feeling hot and clammy and there's no kind of air. So we might like to make sure that the fabrics are natural and they allow the skin to breathe. And they do have a lot of intricate details. Even on that one, there's like the little pockets, which are actual real pockets, and the little bow, the ribbon, the little emblem, the little kind of peplum style with the ribbon.
What's it made of, did you say?
Cotton, sorry.
Cotton, yeah.
Yes.
So
and
that's a pocket per se, not a little air hole.
No. Little pocket.
Okay, I gotta ask, what do they keep in them?
No, it's just for
I
design.
thought about a kind of a spare dog biscuit in there when nobody's nothing they could nibble on.
Yeah, my own fur daughters tend to wear little rucksacks, little fur children rucksacks, and they tend to keep in them their little poopy bags.
So they do happen to carry them, I suppose.
And sometimes they like to carry mommy's keys in the dog park in their little rucksack as well.
And what if they have a little chat together? Let's wreck her head. And the two of them run off and they're hiding and you're saying, I'll never get back to this car.
Oh, stop it. One of them escaped from the Jeep 2 weeks ago and I had to run down the doggy park after her. Of course, my heart was in my mouth. I was, but she was thrilled. She thought it was great. She's the freedom.
I think I read somewhere that when a small dog that escapes, if you keep running after them, they think it's a game. What you're supposed to do is lie down, pretend you're injured, and they'll come running back to you. I'm not sure whether it's a good idea to do in a dog park in Dublin anyway.
No, they love the dog park far too much for that. And she could see lots of little fur children in the distance, so she's like, goodbye.
Where is the dog park? Because I know you from Dublin 15.
Yeah.
Where I used to live myself. I don't have a specific dog park up there.
It's beside St. Moctus Church.
Yeah.
The playing fields. Yes, the playing fields there.
Porterstown, not Porterstown.
Yeah, there's a big park there.
Must be relatively new, is it?
No, they use it as like pitches as well, like for football and that.
Oh yeah, I guess.
We all go down there, and the park is great. They give they've water bowls even there, and they put on water as well.
Yeah. And of course, only stone's throw in Phoenix Park. Doggy heaven.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
Now, dog shows, as in Crufts, or more Crufts Irish style, which it's the event that takes on, I think it's Patrick's Weekend.
Yeah.
I think it's just Irish Kennel Club, or does it have a specific name? I think I'm right in saying that there's a best dressed dog category in that.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Oh, well, I'm not too familiar with Crufts. My little girl.
But the Irish version thereof, yeah.
Yeah.
But is that a mark? Do people kind of want to enter this competition? And I know from kind of having been at dog shows in the past that the competitive spirit is amazing, you know.
Oh yes.
And with a fancy dress section in it, obviously people would absolutely die for some of this.
Yes.
Is that where some of your market is?
It is, but I think more so based on a kind of day-to-day, everyday kind of where there's also kind of event where coming up, which would be kind of events for the family. So whereas traditionally in Irish society, you would have nearly put the dog out the back and gone to these things. Now it's a case of dress the children, dress the fur children, let's go to this family event as a family and enjoy it together. And I know particularly in Ireland, we're kind of nearly Americanized now, in that kind of it's been like a custom for years for children in America to wear clothes and very much be part of the family, especially like Beverly Hills is kind of, it goes to extremes on how they dress their fur children with
to say Dublin
jewels
15
and everything.
is Ireland's Beverly Hills.
But we're really progressing and understanding that they're not kind of dogs, but they are kind of more fur children. They are part of our family. We don't kind of give them away when we have a new human baby, that they are encouraged into the family and that we're all together as a family unit. We don't kick them out the back. They do stay inside. We kind of send them to kind of daycare or school, as you want to call it, and they learn stuff there. So they're very much part of the family. They're a member of the family. They're not kind of the family and the dog. It's like the family is one big unit, you know.
Is it only dogs, or is there other animals that you dress as well?
We do some cats as well, but obviously some cats are a little bit wild and they don't appreciate it. So.
Some dogs are a bit wild as well, you know.
Well, we like to kind of train our fur children these days, you know, when they're like when they go to school, they're very much socialized and they're not they're like wild or anything. But I wouldn't encourage putting any of these garments on any kind of fur child who takes offense to it or isn't comfortable with it in any way. It's not, I want my fur child to wear this, full stop, you're wearing it, get it on.
How much of it is that? How much of buying an outfit like this for, as you call them, your fur children, is that an extension of the owner's personality? And as you said, the dog might want to have nothing to do with it.
Well, I wouldn't encourage them to do so under those circumstances. That would not be, I would not be comfortable with that. I have my own daughter Tia, who came to live with me when she was 8 weeks old. She actually loves to get new clothes. She's worse than a child with a new dress. Like, she actually jumps up and down, gets excited. Like, if we get a new line in, Tia and Lulu always kind of model them for me and make sure they kind of work out well and they wear well and that. But with Tia, she just gets so excited. Like, when new stuff comes, she will actually follow me. She knows when she sees the parcel, this is it, there's new stuff coming. So she'll actually run along after me. She'll go up to the room. she's so crazy. She'll go up to the room where we keep our stock and like just jump up and down and just kind of like, she's stuck to you right then. She wants to wear it then and there. And like, often I kind of feel a bit cruel saying, look, you're not going to wear it now. Like, we'll try it on you in a few days. She's kind of like you can nearly kind of sense her saying, no, put it on me. You know, she just gets so excited. So for those circumstances, definitely she would be a client. Like that, like my fur daughter would definitely be a client. But for, say, any kind of fur child that kind of gets nervous or gets upset or gets uncomfortable, I just wouldn't recommend it under those circumstances. That would not sit well with me.
Is there fashions?
Oh, definitely.
And do they come and go?
They do. They come and go with human fashions. So for example, the maritime dress is like maritime kind of nautical theme is huge in spring, summer 2015. So that goes along with the fashion. So you can have kind of like the human can have like a nautical themed outfit, and your little fur daughter then or your fur son can kind of combine with you and match up with you, and we have a lot of that.
Is there a size or type of dog that the outfits are made for?
No.
Or could we, are they for bigger dogs as well?
Well, they're for any size really.
Like both of your dogs are
quite small.
Quite small. I think I did fall into the Thai breed.
Yes.
And again, we have a little Westie at home, but we also have 3 other dogs, big fellas.
Yeah.
But whatever about the girls dressing the Westie up and her looking cute. Yeah. The other 3, obviously you're not going to dress them up, or do you? Or are there people that dress up their big dogs as well?
Well, we have a couture range, and that's any size. So any size of dog from, like, as you like to call them, like Chihuahua size, teacup Chihuahua, which I'm not very fond of teacup, but that's a whole different scenario because that's a bit cruel. But anyway, from, say, Chihuahua size up to Great Dane size, the couture range is specifically made to measure the specific fur child.
So are you talking, literally people will ring you, this is what I want, and it's made to measure, or you order in to the size?
No, that is the client specifically ringing saying, this is what I want, a day dress or an evening suit, or I want my fur child to be my bridesmaid or my page boy, or we need a costume. It's got to be, for example, Snow White. And we say, okay, fine, fabric, size, and then we kind of go off and make it.
What's the strangest request you've had?
I don't really think we've had anything strange. I'm a bit of a strange creature myself, so I wouldn't find much strange anyway. We haven't really had any strange. There's no kind of unusual one.
Well, your most popular?
The most popular one would be the wedding. They want their fur child to be in the wedding party. They want a little like tuxedo style, or they want like a little gown dress. and that's the most
So
common one.
you were looking at people who would put this on Lulu or something similar.
Yes.
Bring it to the wedding.
Yes.
And bring it to the hotel.
Oh yes.
And the hotels are happy enough with that?
There's a huge range of Irish hotels who permit for children to stay now. Huge range. And I'm not just talking about like 2-3 star hotels. I'm talking about 4-5 star hotels who welcome fur children now. You just have to go and Google it. And I'm talking about like hotels that would charge €280, €300, €350 a night. Welcome fur children to stay in the room with their parents. So it's not a kind of...
That's a good idea because, you know, again, having had dogs, often if you get a chance to go away, you know, particularly if it's local, you know, you say, well, what do we do to dogs, you know? But if you can bring them, and in the past, we'd asked that question. Yeah. And no facilities whatsoever, so we assumed that wasn't the case. But it's good to know that hotels out there.
Yeah, I think Ireland is just progressing kind of so rapidly now. We're just really coming into our own, whereas we used to be kind of like a little bit maybe behind a lot of parts in the world, but now we're really kind of progressing and we're really kind of modernised and we're really up to date. I know there's hotels in Cork, Kerry, the Paris Court Hotel in Dublin, like very, very nice hotels that welcome fur children in. And I think it's it's coming into like 2015, we're kind of a modern country now. We're not kind of in any way backwards at all anymore. And also the fact that a lot of owners of hotels have fur children themselves and know that just because they come into the hotel doesn't mean they're going to kind of swing out the blinds and go crazy. I mean, people do. Fur children, not so much.
Now, the future. Is this a business that you can expand and possibly franchise? Or is the fact that you're in Ireland makes you a niche? Worldwide, perhaps you might have more competition?
Worldwide, we definitely have more competition, particularly in America, where it's huge. Australia is quite big as well. And Eastern Europe is quite popular. We do get a lot of requests from people there. Particularly in relation to the wedding attire or the event attire. We do have plans to expand within kind of 4 years, and we do know what we're going to do. Obviously, we're not going to tell everybody now.
What you're telling me is I'm not getting a scoop tonight. Going back to customers, where are your customers? Where have you sent them to? What's the furthest place you've sent to?
I have an outfit that's being made at the moment, which is going to Poland for a wedding party. A girl has it on order, and that's going to Poland. She's ordered a navy blazer jacket with white shirt inlay and brass buttons and a baby pink dicky bow.
And is that somebody knew one of your customers, or is that somebody who found you on the internet and said,
that's somebody who found us on the internet. Yeah. And sent us an email via the internet contact page and said, look, I've just found you. I'm 3 weeks away from my wedding. Can you please help me? We said, definitely, we can help you. Don't panic. Just send us the measurements. We have the fabric already in stock and we can work with you. So
fantastic. Yeah. Well, it's a brilliant idea. As I said, very niche. You're catering for a specific market, and no doubt those who are looking would like to contact you. So you might tell the camera there how people can contact you if they do want an outfit either off the peg or made to measure.
Perfect. Well, our website is furkidz, furkidz.ie, and you can contact us there. We're also on Facebook. We have a group and a page, or contact myself via Facebook. So we're out there, social media. Just Google us at furkidz and we can help you with your requirements.
Michelle Ryan of furkidz, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you coming up from Dublin to be interviewed here on the Business and Enterprise Show. So that's it. If you want outfits for your fur kids, contact furkidz.ie. I've been Colm Colgan. You've been watching the Business and Enterprise Show. Good night.